How y'all doing today, man? Y'all back tuning to your boy Billionaire Charlie, man. We got the morning show with me and my wife, Tori and Charlie, man. We about to talk about all the great topics out there today, man. And we just gonna come straight to y'all, man. How you feeling today, Tori?
I'm doing pretty good. Hey y'all. Good morning.
Man, this is gonna be a great one today, man. The coronavirus is striking everybody. Everybody in panic mode right now, and I just want to know the secret behind what's really going on with this thing. Is it a magical trick to try to throw us off from something? You know what I mean? What you feel about it?
I feel like everybody is always interested in the conspiracy theory, but then I also feel like if we can get people in a massive panic, we can it's going to impact the world in so many different ways. I think about all the different information that we've seen out so thus far, and how people have gone out and bought like things in bulk and just massively taken over the market. And I believe that that's going to work against us in the long run too, because I don't know. When I went in the store the other day and I saw like all of the tissue gone, and I'm pretty sure all of y'all done been out there and saw those different memes and people just taking everything. My heart began to think about people like myself who just got out of the hospital, or the elderly who can't get out there when they do finally get out there because they waiting for a ride, everything's gone, or the ones who don't have transportation of their own and they travel on the bus and they got to go to 3 and 4 different stores. I feel like, I wonder, do people consider that? And we live in a world now where people don't really think about other people. I believe that coronavirus, just like all the other viruses that we've dealt with before, it's a very serious thing, and people need to wash their hands. But honestly, as a teacher, I've been telling my students since day one, you need to wash your hands, you need to sneeze in your elbow, you need to cough in your elbow. These are things that we should be teaching our kids every day, right?
Well, my whole thing is this, man. So we got the flu virus, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It got a lot of damage and stuff like that, but people don't panic when they hear about the flu virus or things of that nature. You know what I mean? Now
Everybody died from it.
They got the corona thing now. Now everybody's in panic mode and stuff like that. I didn't even know what you told me earlier about that the people with coronavirus supposed to have the mask, not the people that's healthy. So that's one of them things that tripped me up too. So break down that to me a little bit.
So in the research, I've been like reading everything on CNN. Sometimes knowledge is power, and sometimes knowledge can make you feel crippled. The more you know, the more you grow. The more you know, the more you start to feel like, what in the world? But anyway, so there's information out that the CDC was saying people with coronavirus, or people who are ill, are supposed to be wearing the face mask so that people around them are aware that they're sick and they are not, that they'll govern themselves accordingly and try to keep themselves as safe as possible. But with that being said, there are also people in the world, like my family member, who have other communicable, like not, yeah, they're not communicable diseases, like sarcoidosis or lupus or things that work against your immune system. People who have things like that, and they need to wear masks as well because they can't afford to get sick if they have weakened immune systems and things that will cause them to die from just a virus. And that's where you have the people who are panicking, because those who have read that information are like, oh, well, how do we know you don't have coronavirus? And that's not necessarily it. They could be wearing the mask because they have something else that they don't need to get sick.
Yeah, especially like somebody like me, man, with diabetes, so I definitely should be wearing a mask. And when I was in the hospital for them 2 weeks, man, they was at the front door, emergency room door. They was everywhere making sure if you was coughing and sneezing, you couldn't come up in there. You know what I mean? They would give you a sticker on you to let you know that you was cleared from the coronavirus or whatever. So I mean, so the hospitals and everything was serious. I even seen a report that they was saying they wasn't taking people in with coronavirus or something like that. I was like, what?
I haven't read that one, but I have to say, like, being educated will begin because we were just talking about the symptoms earlier and how the symptoms of coronavirus kind of match the symptoms of the flu or swine flu or H1N1 or H1N1 or the cold, and you kind of don't know, like, if you get a little scratch in your throat, is that coronavirus? If I get a little, if I get a cough, is that coronavirus? If I don't have is that coronavirus? And as I began to do more research, because all the symptoms are so similar, a lot of people, especially in our culture, like Charlie and I were both saying earlier, we have this thing where, you just throw a Band-Aid on it. Drink a little ginger ale.
Yeah, I just seen the thing that the meme that Snoop Dogg put up there. First he did the jump where somebody hitting the blunt and they start coughing, but he don't want to cough because he's scared that everybody gonna be he thinking he got the coronavirus. Then you put the thing up when you put the Vicks up there, ginger ale, and some crackers. That's the normal thing that your mama would give you when you sick. You had your ginger ale and your crackers and stuff, and you get real with your Vicks on your chest. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you got to go to the doctor to get checked out. Because I was a person that was thinking that I ain't want to pay for no emergency room bills, no what you call it, the ambulance. I ain't want to pay for none of that stuff. So me, I was real sick one time. I didn't know I had diabetes at this time. And the lady kept saying she was going to call the ambulance for me when I was at my apartment or whatever. And I said I was good. I'm going to walk to the ambulance. I walk outside, collapsed, and the lady had to call the ambulance for me. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we got to
You gonna walk to the hospital.
Yeah, sometimes you got to make for sure that you're all the way good. And don't think you're all the way good, Superman and all of that. Sometimes you got to really get yourself checked out, man.
And be careful because a lot of times, especially like when he was originally telling me the story about his him learning that he had diabetes, I always ask a lot of questions, and as a person, I'm that little kid that keep asking over, but why? Until the person look at you like, yo, you say one more time, but I want to know. I want to know all the details. I want to know everything that I can know because I will not be the one that fell victim to the information I didn't know. But anyway, so I was asking him, and one thing that stood out when he originally told me the story is that people around him were telling him what they thought was best. I believe one person thought that he had like a what she said, like a stomach virus. She was like, "Oh, you got to drink cranberry juice."
Yeah, an infection or something. She said,
"Yeah,
cranberry juice," and that was raising my sugar up even higher. I was at the pharmacy. I think it was like CVS, one of them. And I was like, I was having a frequency problem where I was urinating a whole lot, and I didn't know. And she kept thinking that it was maybe because I had an infection and something the body was trying to get rid of it. Mm-hmm. I didn't know I had diabetes at the time.
Right.
So she basically gave me this pill and said, take this, your urine will come out a different color, drink a bunch of cranberry juice and all of that. And man, did I raise my sugars high because I had cranberry juice, orange juice, sugar to the tea.
And you may be asking me why I brought that up. What was my point? My point is sometimes we got to let doctors be doctors. You know what I'm saying? I always, no disrespect to nobody else, because I always look at it like this. When I became a teacher, I had so many people around me who would say, oh, you should teach like this, or you should do it like this. And it was never teachers that had this input. It was like parents or aides or people who worked in the lunchroom. And my response was always, if you were able to do what I did, you would do it. But since I'm a teacher, trust me to be a teacher. And it's not necessarily that you have nothing against people who want to help. 'Cause I appreciate people that help. But let doctors help you. Don't be afraid to go to the doctor. I feel like our culture has gotten to a point where you don't want to go to the hospital. And me, I've done it. I've been at a point where I'm thinking like, if I go to the hospital, I'm going to take off work. I can't afford to be off work. I remember when I worked hourly, I would stay sick because I would think about the fact that I couldn't afford to be off. Like, that worked against me so many times. But like the lady, she was trying her best to help him the way she knew how. But once he went to the doctors, he found out it was the exact opposite or something totally different. And had he not went when he went, he probably wouldn't be here today. So I think about that with the coronavirus. So many people are probably at home. They did tell us to self-quarantine, but if you start to feel pain in your chest, bro, go to the hospital. Was another thing. I had a really close friend of mine recently. She came for my neck. Boy, she came for me. She said, how do I know you don't have coronavirus? Won't you just in the hospital because you couldn't breathe? And I had to pause And my response to her was like, yo, they tested me for a lot of things. They did. As a matter of fact, the test for the coronavirus, they stick a swab all the way up your nose into the back of your throat until you cough, and that's how they test you for it. I remember when a lady tested me for the virus, she goes, oh, I'm going to test you for a virus. And I think she didn't want me to panic because at that point I was just coming out of the intubation, and she said, it's going to hurt, but just cough. And I remember them sticking that stick all up my nose. And I said that to say, oftentimes, because people don't really know, they'll start it's just like remember in school, as soon as somebody start a rumor, everybody going around saying, "Oh, he got the corona," and you don't even have it. And that ignorance will have people looking at the wrong people and not preparing, not knowing better, not doing better, and the next thing you know, somebody died that could have probably gotten help because. Or right now, my friends, oh, they got me off for 2 weeks. What am I about to get into? Get into your pajamas and stay in the house because you just because you don't think it's a big deal, don't mean you should expose yourself to unnecessary issues. Like, go home. And I know, like, have you seen Charlie's an introvert? Billionaire Charlie. He's an introverted person. On the videos, you would think he's an extroverted person, but he's not. When he's at home, he stay to himself. He like being by himself. He don't need to have a crowd.
I always been an antisocial individual.
No, not antisocial. It's introverted.
Introverted, antisocial. I always been a laid back, kind of stay to myself type of person. And the reason for that, because in life, I've been through a lot of tragic situations with different people, different relationships and things of that nature as a kid to make me who I am today. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, I was dating people, different women that was upset with me because I didn't talk a lot. And a lot of people get mad at me just because sometimes I kind of stay to myself. Like I worked on a job one time. I expressed this to a couple of people. Well, I was mistreated just because I stayed to myself. I didn't come in and, I didn't speak. 100%, I didn't speak. But at the same time, they didn't speak to me. So if you gonna throw the stone at me, just at least say that. You know what I'm saying?
That's a Taurus characteristic.
I came in the class. Not classroom, but I came into my job to do my job and go home. Put food on the table. But I did my job. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like I was mistreated. They were so bad on the job that they was picking on me to the point that they would close the man bathroom and have me going into the women's bathroom. And they supposed to tell the women not to come in there while I'm in there, but they letting the women come in there while I'm in the bathroom. And so while I'm washing my hand, a woman come out of the bathroom like, oh, like what's going on? You know what I'm saying? So like I said, a lot of times, man, people just be on a different tip.
Some other stuff.
You know what I'm saying? I felt like that was a violation, man. That's why me and my wife, man, always having this talk about just being an entrepreneur and just creating the stuff that you love to create and being you wherever you go. Because a lot of times, man, we have so many gifts and talents, but we let failure take us away from getting to our glory. And that's something I learned from watching like Master P's and the Dang Dads. And they always talk about failure as the best teacher of getting to the level that you're trying to be at. So when I look at my wife and I look at all the struggles we went through, from the surgery to all her gifts and talents, I always look at her as a person that can bring greatness into this world because she experienced things that I've never experienced. She got conversations that women out there that been through some situations that she been through that she can reach and talk to. And it's all about coming on a platform and helping people, because that's our goal, is to, like I say, I ain't no super Christian, I ain't no super nothing. All I am is a person that's spiritually trying to just help my people out there and just give gifts as much as I possibly can. But like I say, it's just all a natural thing. You feel me?
It's a natural thing, but I still believe like an introverted person is not affected by coronavirus as much because they've been looking for a reason to have to stay home away from people for a long time. It's like, I saw a joke that said like it was like introverted people during coronavirus, they sitting back playing the game, watching TV, happy, and an extroverted person like myself, I naturally gravitate to people. I love to talk. Even though I've been hurt by people, I still love people. And it's a part of me that even the people that hurt me, if I saw them bleeding on the street, I would run over there. Like, do you need help? Whereas, like, I know other personalities would be like, ain't got nothing to do with me. And my heart still bleeds for people that I know don't know no better. I mean, there's certain people that you do know better. But then there's certain people that I feel in my mind have made decisions and will still need somebody to give them grace. And even though they burn some bridges, they'll need somebody to throw them a life jacket. Like, should they drown, you know? And that's just always been my heart. And I feel like, as an extroverted person, I miss my classroom. I miss my kids. I miss seeing them in the morning with their little germy selves. To be honest with you, like, people talk about the doctors being in a place with a lot of sick people. No. I mean, I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly. But teachers, kids coming to school every day sick, and most of the time parents gotta work. They don't want to have to be home or whatever with their child because their child is sick, so they send them to school sick. And when they send them to school sick, you know what they do? They get their classmates sick. And you know what a teacher does every single day? We tell kids to cough in their elbow. Don't sneeze on me. Please don't cough in my face. As a matter of fact, I had a student that sat so he had to sit in front of me because if he didn't sit in front of me, he was never going to do his work. I mean, he was the type of person that if you didn't see him writing, he wasn't writing. So I had to put him right in front of me. But he was also a person who did not cover his mouth. And those who know me know I do not like germs. Like, I am the one that will be ready to spray you with some Lysol. So all day long, I'm telling this little boy, like, yo, don't cough on me. Yo, don't cover your mouth.
You know what's the worst thing is when you at a restaurant or somewhere, somebody picking up something without the gloves, and you like, bro.
Yeah, man. Or you see somebody cough in the back, and you like, you're not gonna cover your mouth. You're not gonna change your gloves. Oh, that's just how you gonna.
And they get mad at you, nigga. I don't know your hands be that. They get mad at you. How they gonna get mad at you and they picking up my food with no gloves on? Hold up.
Yo, but I just try to tell. Hold on. I just try to tell him. You know, he's talking about you can't live in fear, babe, and he wanted to preach a whole message to me about living in fear because we went to he wanted what was it, pizza. Yesterday was the first time we got to take out food in weeks because I keep telling him like I cannot see these people make this food, and there's a person behind the counter.
Hold up, Subway, you can see people making the food.
Man,
Chipotle, Mod Pizza.
Look at him, this boy, he's spoiled. He's very spoiled, but I'm like, man. But honestly, that's with every job. You never know what people are doing behind closed doors. So you might as well just pray. I had to sit there and think about it when I was making the statement to him. Like, girl, the person who packed that chicken inside that thing covered it with plastic. You don't know what they said. And just keep going down the line. You never really know, man. People do things crazy when they feel like, who you can't see me. I'm like, whew. But anyway, so we were talking about introverts and extroverts and coronavirus and how it's affecting us and how we're dealing with it. We on the other side of that also believe in like building up our immune system. So we were having our kids take vitamins. But I listened to the guy from Ohio that recovered. He was talking about how healthy he was and how he worked out every day. He took vitamins, and then coronavirus just hit him. He don't know how he contracted it. He wasn't around anybody. He worked from home. Like, he literally was a case of, I don't know how I got this. And I was just thinking to that nature, just like any other virus, you know, people, we wash our hands, and we count for 20 seconds. I just told my husband, you need to say the Lord's Prayer, sing happy birthday, and extend that, and then use hand sanitizer after you use that good soap. But, yes, we talk about that, and we think about the things that we don't necessarily think about all the time. Like, I saw somebody on Facebook the other day, he was like, so you wash your hands? Check. You use hand sanitizer? Check. And he's like, yeah, but when you put up to that gas station, did you use a glove? And how many people pump their gas without washing their hands right after, or put hand sanitizer on right after? How many folks go into the store? Like, when you leave the bathroom, you may use the little stall thing and not touch the door handle, but when you walk out of a restaurant, you just touch the handle and walk out. And so did everybody else who walked in there with all the germs on their hands.
Man, that's why I was saying, like, this whole thing, man. I seen the Cardi B thing with, boy, they got so many memes and stuff that's going on with this, man. It's getting out of hand, man. I'm kind of ready for them to go ahead and put that the medicine out or whatever we need, man, so we can move forward from this, man.
He say that, but we'll probably still live in quarantine right after that, just because he probably still don't want to go outside. Yes, they're gonna put out the medicine, and he'll be like, okay, get vaccinated, do what you gotta do to stay strong, and he gonna come back into his room and act like he's still in quarantine. And I'm be like, babe, you coming out? Nah, it's coronavirus out there. I'm just like, he ain't gonna come out. You know what I'm saying? We want the vaccination, but I think, people also, like, my husband made a very good point to me this morning, because I am a person who does start to feel overwhelmed and suffocated by negativity. I don't watch the news, and I feel like you probably should watch the news, but I feel like I know from experience that sometimes the news puts out what it wants to depict to create an environment where people have to be manipulated. I mean, that's what I believe. I believe that it often shows Like when I watch commercials, my first degree was in business, and we would talk about fallacies and how it pulls on emotions and things that make people see things differently. Subliminal messages that are hidden within a message, and you wonder, like, or you ever heard somebody say something and then we talk about it's not what they said, but it's how they said it. So they may be making a statement about someone, but they got this little side conversation, like it's a way they're saying it where it's like, that was some shade. Like, I feel like they was just coming for the whole culture. That's what I feel like they do in the news often. I feel like they create massive panic. They create things because they want you to focus on certain things. They often show the young black boy, killing his neighbor, or things to that nature, but I have yet to see them, do a mass thing on those 10 black doctors that just graduated. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are they not putting positivity in the news?
That's kind of like that's kind of like the era that we in right now, where we just like
focus on the negative.
We see a lot of negative stuff, and we got the love and hip hop, the black ink, and it's just promoting the hatred that we see, the jealousy that we see. You know what I'm saying? We seeing the fall of Nipsey Hussle and Pop Smoke and different people like that fell to victims of jealousy and hate. And I feel like my wife, a friend, was speaking on this, and it's like, where's the love at nowadays, man? We kind of like breeding into more deaths in the community, but we walk around Black Lives Matters and stuff like that. We kind of like killing the culture because we promoting the ghetto mentality where we not educating.
Videos that go viral.
We're not educating the youth or educating people on a positive wave, to love your neighbor, to love your brother. Like, normally in the American family, we don't even really stick together like that. You have a brother and sister that won't call you for 50 years. You know what I'm saying? And then when something come down, and everybody, oh, can I get $100? Can I get $20? You had those relationships. I was just talking to my homeboy, and he was saying something like, he said, no, nobody watch your videos and stuff like that. And I'm like, that did show you that a lot of times, like Master P and I think it was Master P and Gilly was saying something about, like, if you got a rapper that's in your clique, why everybody ain't got his music on their pages on Facebook and Instagram? Why they not supporting like that? But when he get rich, everybody want to get on that VIP. Everybody want to get on that tour bus. I just feel like a lot of times we be living in a hateful world where people don't want to gravitate to you until you the popular thing. We got to love our neighbor, love our people, and just start promoting just love.
I be trying to get my husband to understand that he and I had this conversation, and since you guys listen to our video, you can let me know what you think. But I think that people walk two different lines. Well, several different lines. People like myself, I wear multiple hats. So those who don't know me, like people at my school, for a long time never knew that I was licensed into ministry. They also didn't know that my husband was a famous YouTuber. They also didn't know that my son has a nonprofit dealing with his hand and being born differently. They didn't know that I was an author. And, because of that, you would say, why, Tori? Why do you separate everything? Well, I have, for a while I have a Facebook that was solely, the only people that I communicated on that Facebook with were like ministers, pastors, people from church, because, some people, like when you walk different lines, people are looking for certain things. And no, you're not living for people to judge you. Or my husband is always like, why do you care about what they think? It's not necessarily that. But I look at it like this. If I was in, like with the teaching thing, in that particular environment, people see me under a certain light, and that's who they see me as in that environment. I don't never mix my personal life into that environment, because they need to always respect me as this person. Even if I was to go higher up the ladder and become somebody in the school board, I would never mix my personal life, because we can never get that personal, because you and I, we're not buddies. You got to always understand that in this particular environment, I'm just Dr. Williams. When I leave to Charlie, I'm Tori because I'm his wife. And when I'm over here, I'm Minister Williams because that's who they see me as. But in these different environments, you need to respect the name. Put some respect on my name now. I'm just saying, you got to understand that. So my husband sometimes be like, oh, you don't post my videos. Well, sometimes the videos that he posts or whatever, I love what he does. I'm proud of him. I definitely do, but I don't post it to my school page because on that page, that's just Dr. Williams. I'll never mix the two different environments together. And because I know I have a lot of my colleagues up there and different people up there, I keep it in that same realm. And that's just how I operate. And then my husband be like, well, why you don't share this to your page? You don't support. And it's like, baby, I do support you. I'm up there. I'm watching your videos. I've watched videos and had to click them off. But I don't put them on my page because I know some of the content would offend some of my high profile clients that I deal with.
I'm not a corporate person, so
right. Which is why, so you cannot say that these people don't love you and they don't support you because they don't share it. Maybe they're looking at the clientele that are there in their circle and saying, okay, Charlie and them, they can sit at the same table and eat, but he, like you just said, he ain't a corporate person. Well, everybody on my page is corporate, and as soon as I put this video that says, I don't know, straight out of Locash, and they like, whoa, did he just quote CB4? Like, and I'm looking at them, these like people, like, how do you know that? This is things that I try to get him to understand. And I know, and I love him, and I know that he's doing well in his realm. There will be people on every levels of life. Like, I'm a teacher. You know how many parents will come from my neck and tell me they don't like what I do. They don't like how I teach. They don't like, I don't like that you give this much homework. I don't like that you give this. And I'm like, I follow the rules under the corporation that I work for. And he has to understand that people are people everywhere. My mom taught me that. And there will be people who will love everything about what you do. And there will be people who will just not. And that's just how it is. I often find people that find flaws in what you do are the ones who are not satisfied with themselves. The people who tried to create and didn't have a viral video. Or the people who started something and couldn't get it to where they wanted to be. They're going to find flaws in you. Because also, one of the things that's
called clout chasing.
It ain't clout chasing. I feel like
chasing clout.
I feel like beef sells. Honestly, I feel like if y'all look at it, and this is not me talking from a corporate standpoint, this is just, I know a little bit of too. If y'all look at it, go back in history. Beef has always sold. Records sell because of beef. When they start having, the little diss tracks, people would begin to listen to it because they wanted to hear what the other person said back. And that begins to sell. This is what makes you buy. This is what makes you buy into this. This is what's going on with the reality TV. In reality, them people are not like that. When you meet them people in real life, like I've met Sassy and the people off of Black Ink Crew. Sassy is the sweetest, most cutest person I've ever met. But when you saw like that season of Black Ink and they hate each other and Puma. Matter of fact, when I met them out VA, Puma was there. Can't say his own name. I'll be doing that cursing. Try not to no more. But was there. Caesar was there. Sassy was there. Puma was there. I said it already. Anyway, out of all of the people, Puma was like, yo, where the party at? Like, he was super cool. Sassy was super cool. But the one that was like, he was doing a tattoo, and I was like, oh, there goes, he didn't even want to speak. And I'm like, hey. And he was like, acting like he was so busy. I was like, C's, he just like, he was a picture person. So like, he just grabbed and was like, hey, take a picture. And I'm just like, oh, okay. So you really do like the attention. But the people who were down to earth was Sassy and Puma. But when you watched the season back then, you would have hated them. Like, Puma threw something in Caesar's shop. And
they always say those reality TV shows be scripted. They say that because I seen Romeo and Master P was on Growing Up Hip Hop, and they was saying that everything was scripted to create drama because they can't make the show. That's why they say Bow Wow got off of it. They can't make the show without no drama. Like people want to see the ghetto and somebody throwing something and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, pay me a check, I'll go up there.
There's something wrong with it. But the thing is, what people see on TV will have them hating you in real life. I saw a meme the other day. I can't even think of their names. Oh, man. I can't even think of their names, but it's so funny. It was 4 actors that it said 4 actors that I still don't respect in real life because of the way they acted in the show. One of them was like, one of them was, what's the name of Color Purple? I was cracking up. And
I would have thought it would have said the dude from Players Club because
Yeah,
every role with that nigga.
You still don't
man.
trust him in real life. He's suspect. I feel like they play them roles so good that you like, man, I do not like you. And you see me real life, I was acting. No, I do not like you, cuz. And the dude from the Tyler Perry shows. Oh, man. But yeah, I feel like it's acting. It's creating what people want to see. And, you know, people, like, you have folks hating, like, and people really hated Duchess, like, when she left Black Ink. She was acting, she was playing a role. There might have been some real in there. She might have really loved him. But what we saw on TV is them, you know, beefing it up to get them ratings up. Like, it's a show. And I still love Black Ink.
It's all about entertainment, man.
It's entertainment.
And that's what people sometimes get misconstrued, or because people try to live that real, try to be that, but it's really entertainment. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I say go to a dark place when somebody trying to portray these characters that people just acting. You know what I'm saying? It's like it ain't real. You know what I'm saying? But
or when people get obsessed with an actress and really want to take them out because of a role they played, I'm like, yo, that's what happened with the people who have like YouTube when YouTube first started coming out. People really was like getting on the bandwagon and really hating them behind things that they posted. Or like I just listened to a video earlier and the dude was coming for a person, you know, coming for their honor because of what they post on social media. And I believe that social media has been a platform for people to, you know, express themselves in a unique way. So if their opinion is something that you don't agree with, you don't have to watch the video. I never understood. Like my husband, he always wanted me to get on video. I'm not getting on no video because I'm like, people will be so disrespectful, and I really be feeling like, why do you listen to 30 minutes of a video just to say something negative? Like, you just wasted 30 minutes of your life that you'll never get back. And I'm just like, I don't understand that logic. I have too much value in my life.
That's the thing you always tell me, right? This is the thing you always say. You always say, what was it? What was the thing? The line you always hit me with? Common sense ain't always.
Common sense is not common.
Common sense, everybody. Because everybody's logic is different. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like, for instance, when I seen the Boosie situation when they bust in the car and take the jewelry out, and it's still all everybody like, oh no, that was like that ain't no crackhead thing. That was like they had to get some money. But I'm looking at it from a standpoint. This man worked hard for everything that he got. Why would you conduct yourself in that type of way? You know what I'm saying? But like I say, you talking about a guy that's walking the spiritual way and somebody that's living the gangster way. They got two different perspectives and two different logic on things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Just like they were talking about Beanie Siegel being a snitch and all this type of thing. I was like, but Tupac got beat up by the police and he sold them too, so he a snitch too. So it's like, people logic be throwing me off because it's like, that wasn't a case where a person was like with their friend and they did a crime and they told. This was a dude that got his face smashed into the concrete and then he sued the state or whatever. You know what I'm saying? For what would you call that? Assaulting them like that.
Yeah.
So it's like I didn't get the snitching concept of the Beanie Siegel.
Well, I don't know. Y'all may not like me no more, but I am not. You can tell by my voice. You know, and the crazy part about it is I grew up in New York. I was born in Cali. Every now and then when you hear me talk I grew up in New York and I done been through a lot, you know what I'm saying? I went to juvie and I've had that life. But then when I met my husband, he be like, I don't understand how a person from the, you know what I'm saying, from the ghetto don't understand this type of logic. And I'm like, okay, well, let me explain something to you. I have always been the type of person that looks at everything from several different perspectives. My mind just does it. Like, even when everybody is saying, well, yeah, I think it's this way, I probably be the one on the jury to be like, but how do you know it's not? And they be mad at me like, yo, we need to close this and go home. But how do you know they didn't do it? Like, should we look at it differently? I am that person. And this is what I feel about snitching. I feel like people always disrespect a snitch until you need a snitch. Now, look, I say that because I was in a hit and run, right? This man, and I was in the ghetto, downtown, it was a not so good, neighborhood. Anyway, and the man ran the stop sign, hit my car. My car spun a bunch of times, hit a pole, and I could not get out until the firemen came with the jaws of life. When I got out, they rushed me to the hospital. But what I found out later, because I got a court case that came directly to me for my license, the police came. Long story short, I got subpoenaed to court. I'm like, how did I get subpoenaed to court? I don't even know what's going on. Do you know what happened? Well, when the accident happened, there was a man who was behind me who saw the man who hit me leave. And he followed him through the hood. The man that hit me jumps out of his car and goes and sits on the porch. And the person who followed him sat on the side of the road, called the police, and told the police that's the person who hit her, and he left. So when I got to court, the man tells me, he says, I know you don't know who I am. I just want you to know this is what I did. And in that particular case, if he hadn't been willing to snitch and tell what he saw, I never would have gotten justice for what happened to me that day. Say it's your kid, and your kid been shot up and killed, and you want answers. Well, street code says we don't know nothing, we didn't see nothing. You would be completely happy for the person to tell you, like, yo, it was such and such. Also, if it was somebody who was higher up in the game, and they beating the heck out of your grandma.
They only consider that when you talking to the police.
Really? That's not snitching?
So when somebody tell you that, like for instance, somebody talking to you and tell you that, oh, I know who got your brother. Oh, I know who got your son.
Oh, they looking out.
Right.
Oh, that's not snitching.
So snitching is only, for me, the code is, snitching is basically...
If you fold under pressure in the police station.
Is if you did a crime with your homeboys or a clique or whatever, and you tell on a person. These cases that they talking about a police officer beating somebody up or shooting somebody.
Oh, I get what you're saying. You talking about snitching from the perspective of y'all all did something together. All three of y'all robbed the thing. And because I don't want to do 10 years, I throw y'all under the bus.
I throw y'all, yes.
Oh, well, yeah, that's different.
Snitching, but not a nigga that gets shot by the police and he's suing them. That's not... How y'all
I don't understand how the person who got shot by the police would be snitching. Because you see social media now, everybody and their mama start recording like, I saw what happened, you know what I'm saying? That's not snitching. That's the same thing. That's looking out. That's me telling you who shot your brother. Nah. Snitching, then from that perspective, snitching is only when somebody is trying to take a lesser plea so they throw you under the bus. But I thought you meant like
he got shot by the police. Like
I thought you meant like just somebody telling information altogether, like you were saying with the police thing. If it's the police thing, that's the same thing as telling information and somebody. No, I don't get that. I don't get that. I think I agree with you on the fact that the snitching has to necessarily be all three people did the same crime, and one person is going to tell on y'all so that he can walk. Then you would snitch.
Right. That's the same thing. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all a prime example when I'm talking about. You got Lil Wayne and he's suing Birdman or something for something. That's the same shit. So he take the stand. Oh yeah, Birdman owe me some money. So he a rat too, I guess. Like what is the concept? Don't make sense, man. You know what I'm saying? But
no, it don't make sense. I thought that's what you meant, though. I thought you were trying to say. So that's what you're saying. That if it's somewhere where you're just trying to get you're not restitution, but you're just trying to get what you're entitled to, then it's not snitching. Snitching is when you're telling on somebody because you're trying to make sure you can get out of it, getting in trouble.
Right, and he ain't in no trouble. So
got it.
You know what
I thought I'm like, when you say snitching, I'm thinking snitch code is if you telling on anything. Like if you like the dude who hit my car, you tattle telling. I'm thinking about like a teacher. You tattle telling, you telling on somebody, but no.
Yeah, everybody be a snitch because a lot of people had to go to court for different shit that they had to tell on. Child support, all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? So there be a lot of niggas snitching. You know what I'm saying? Real rap. You know what I'm saying? But
I still feel like the dude that followed that man that hit me, he was snitching. He was telling, I know where he went. Like, I'm snitching.
He told you or the police?
He told the police. He didn't tell me. I got subpoenaed to court. I didn't even know. The dude met me at court and was like, I just want you to know who I am. I'm the person who told. So,
but like I say,
either way.
This is a different...
It's a different scenario.
I'm going to show you again. Regular citizens are not under the same code as a gangster.
Because they both didn't hit my car.
Huh? Regular citizens are not under the same code as a gangster. So a gangster, gang banger, and stuff like that. If he a regular citizen, go to work, we don't call him a snitch because he's a regular citizen. You get it? It's codes to all of that.
He's not a snitch.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Because you're a regular citizen. You work a 9 to 5, you go to work, come home, you can
I
say
watch
what the
too
hell
much
you want to.
TV then. Because I'm like, he's
yeah.
snitch. No, he told.
Snitches is only for gangsters. Like,
I be trying to figure out, understand this thing. This is the part that gets me. Because it's not even that I don't get the street code. I just be trying to understand this. As a people, what do we get out of establishing these street codes that really proves to the world that we don't have enough self-control to redirect ourselves where we're not killing each other? Because you say he a snitch, this is why this block don't like that block, this person don't deal with this person hate that person, he this, he that. You know what I'm saying? We just create another environment of another level of why they call people of our culture barbaric. I'm just saying.
That don't make sense because we got to think about it from this sense, right? We live in America, right?
Yeah.
And they all doing the exact same thing that these people doing in these little neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
And which they probably would do in Africa and Egypt because everybody dethroned somebody in some type of way. And you're not going to get everybody to be on the same page. Everybody wants to be the king. Everybody want to be the richest. Everybody want to have all these entitlement things.
I know.
And the thing that I learned about when I look at everybody's culture, they all have that same thing there, the competition of what they want, and they want to redirect it. You got to think about it, man. When you go to the South and you feel the energy of the racism and things of that nature, you can see that somebody's trying to control you, and they're using the same tactics what we talking about.
I get it. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I just still feel like when it comes to certain cultures and certain environments, certain people are categorizing themselves where it's like we're still painting the picture as if we're still unlearned people. And I feel like until we get to a place like, yeah, you're right, everybody wants to be the king, everybody wants to have the throne, and the throne is going to cost you, and you got to know the higher you are, the higher your fall. I mean, we understand that, but I just wish that our people would find better ways to build each other up, or to come together, or to just to me it does something. Because I look at, this is why I said I'm a teacher, right? So I deal with kids, and when I deal with kids and I hear kids say things out of their mouth like as if the street code is going to take them where they need to go in life. No, a lot of the folks that's living under that street code are dying on the streets. And they're dying in a war they don't have to fight, to me.
Well, you gotta, if you're gonna use that narrative or say it like that, I mean, it's people that live a lifestyle like that have the wealth and the riches and things of that nature. It's like I say, when you
I
get
feel
a
like once
concept,
you get the wealth and the riches, you leave that mentality behind. I love, don't get me wrong about Nips or whatever, but I always felt like you want to go back, you want to give to the community, but you don't got to dwell there.
Explain to me what you talking about when you talking about codes and things. Which part are you talking about?
You mean which part am I talking about? Like when I talking about street code?
Right. Like what is you saying is going to prevent a person from going somewhere, or what is it that you really trying to say? I can't get the concept.
When I taught at a second chance school, I had a lot of young boys who came through there who went to school because they had to go to school, truancy. But literally, they were bangers. So they were under street code, where they were under, somebody, whatever gang or whoever was there, whoever was over them, whatever the case may be. So they would bring a lot of that back into the classroom. And no matter how much you want to teach them and provide opportunities for them, their mind is saying, my uncle was this, my daddy was this is what I'm going to be, and this is it. So you can sit there and try to tell them there's a future outside of the ghetto all you want to. They not going to bend. They're loyal. They, especially things like being jumped in.
You basically saying they want to be in there.
They've already come to the conclusion that that's their lives.
Okay,
You
okay.
know what I'm saying? And I feel
So
like that's crippling.
I think it's a mentality though, because you have multiple gang members that's successful and that have riches and things of that nature. I think that's the thing that we were talking about when
I
we were
don't feel
looking
like
at
gang members are.
depression and things of that nature, where people are moving away from the
But when you
actual.
say multiple gang members that are successful or have riches, to what nature? Like businesses?
Right, I see a lot of them got businesses and stuff. Like Nip had a whole shopping center. Snoop Dogg got a whole brand, and you got a lot of them. Young Jeezy, we could go down the names. A lot of guys that come from that gang culture that end up building empires. It's like
I
I think
never
it's
felt like people from the gang culture could not build an empire. As a matter of fact, I feel like drug dealers have showed people on massive levels how to be entrepreneurs. They took a product that was in high demand, they created a way to scale it, they found a way to market it, they put together teams to be able to move it. They had different levels of people to be able to work in factories that produce massive quantities and larger scales. They taught people how to be entrepreneurs from get. So I've always felt like there's a lesson to be learned in there. I just want our kids to have a future and to know there's another way. See, Nipsey Hussle, he took where he came from and created another life for him. And then he, even like when you talk about Dame and all of the other ones that came and got out, you know, they got out though. Snoop Dogg, I don't believe. I mean, I know they still do a lot for their communities. They do, but I don't feel like they still running the street banging to that level and ready to shoot niggas up and all that type of stuff that where they started.
that's the transition as far as maturity and becoming a man and understanding family values and things of that nature. It's people just growing into becoming that character. Like this becoming great in what they do. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you came from that lifestyle of gang banging and drug dealing, but you transitioned into a father, a husband, a great person. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I was saying with the gang banging, a lot of the things they could do is restructure what they're doing and be able to create more Snoops and Nipsies and different things in there, which I've seen a lot of people doing because you're seeing a lot of things being produced now without the violence and beefing on blocks and stuff like
Exactly.
that.
What if the gang? That's my whole point.
But that was the
Why
Black
couldn't-
Panthers though.
Yeah, a brotherhood. Because this
That's
is
what
the
he was
whole
supposed
thing.
to be
A lot
about.
of those young boys don't join those groups because they want to go kill somebody or hate this sect.
They don't have a family.
They looking for brotherhood. They looking for that protection, that safety, and that's what I look at. You know what I'm saying? These men that have this influence, you should be creating men that can be just as equally amazing, you know what I'm saying, in a positive light, and showing them that they can be great without all of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe that these young people should be, having to not disrespect, but dislike this person because of the color they wearing or where they grew up or what block they came from or whether you 88, just different things that you see, and how the media will begin to portray it as if that's like necessary. Like, you don't have to hate a person because of this. And I feel like, honestly, a lot of that comes from I'm about to say apartheid, but I feel like a lot of it is the culture trying to keep people in a place where you're bound. Because what do you get out of disliking this person because they grew up on this block? And if they grew up on this block, let's shoot this block up, and we're gonna retaliate. And then this person kill this person, or they shoot up this down. What are we getting from that? You know what I'm saying? I always said, well, hold on, but you can have it back. You can have it right back. But I always felt like the whole Black Lives Matter movement would be stronger if Black Lives Matter to Black people. You got to stop the gangs from shooting up one corner because another person walked down another corner with a different color on. That's when we will become more effective in the movement because we're showing them that they don't have to be that way. But anyway, that's just me. My soapbox.
Yeah, I just feel like we in America, in the world, man, we dealing with division all the time, man. When you walk down the street and you other culture, you know your other culture because you got a bunch of white people out there that don't like black people because they athletic or they got different skills and techniques or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We seen the whole movie where the guy was just jealous of this dude, you know what I'm saying, success as being a basketball player and stuff of that nature. So a lot of times we dealing with division all the time, you know what I'm saying? And it's in the culture, outside the culture and stuff of that nature. It's just people be grown to dislike you for no reason. You know
Yeah,
what
but
I'm
I
saying?
feel like
Color
hatred
of
is fun.
skin, color of red, blue. You know what I'm saying? It's despicable sometimes. That's why I was saying why we keep walking in hate, you know, instead of love, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna end up in those falling situations.
I think kids don't see color, and little kids don't see hatred. Little kids don't see division and draw lines in the sand. I think when you see little kids play on the playground, they play with everybody together. But we teach them to dislike people because they're different. We teach them to we teach hate. We teach people to discredit somebody because of something. I look at I taught kindergarten and how all the kids just always just played. You had that one kid who didn't like to share, but whatever. But third grade, I teach third grade. I teach third grade now, and third graders is where you get to that ragging on each other grade, and for some reason the girls get to that mean girl stage and they want to hurt your feelings and things like that. And it takes good parenting and good teachers to teach them at that age that that's not how you deal with people. You don't hurt somebody to make yourself feel bigger. You don't belittle somebody to make yourself feel larger. Like that don't make you a bit better person. That I remember this one little girl was up. It was on picture day, and she was beautiful. Like she had her hair in a donut. She had bangs, but she asked this girl in the class, who's one of those mean girls, how, did she like her hair? And she was like, "No, I don't like your hair. Your hair is ugly." And I'm just like, she's like, "My hair is pretty. You're supposed to have curls for pictures." And I looked at her. I'm like, "Yo, that was not okay. That was not okay. Like, why would you even do that? What makes you feel like you're supposed to have curls for pictures? And why? It's like a little girl that went viral that kept saying she was ugly, and when the lady was doing her hair, the culture and the people around us have made people have a complex because they're different. I don't look like you, or even me as an adult, I have a complex. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm different, and I just feel like that's something that's learned. People begin to feel a certain way because people rag on them, and some people don't know how to deal with it. They're joking, and you get the one side of the people was like, "Well, you got to teach them how to deal with it." You know what I'm saying? People are going to be harsh, but I've also taught high school, and once you get to that level, that's when people will fight back, and you say the wrong thing, you might get beat down. I really wish that we could teach them. As I think about my son, he literally is like he shows me every day that my husband and I have to teach him to be a better man, because we have a lot of self-made people or people who are adults now who never had guidance, and because they never had guidance to know that what they're doing is dysfunctional and isn't right, there's a lot of dysfunctional old people who are not grown. They think, oh, because they're of age they're grown, but mentally you acting like a 2-year old right now. Like adults don't behave like this.
Man, that's the worst. That is the worst situation to deal with, man. When you with somebody or a person that hasn't matured or never been around people that actually
Told them the truth.
yeah, or been or put them in positions where they had to feel uncomfortable with the lying and the different bad traits that they pick up over the years. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people live into that and they become these monsters. That's why when the kid young, you gotta try to train them in the right way
The way they should have, yeah.
before it be just monsters. But like I said, I seen one time this girl posted on her page, should the parents be at fault for some of the things that the kids do? And I say no, because a lot of times kids they own people. They think they own way. No matter how many good traits we taught you, you know what I mean, you still gonna be your own person. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the things my mom used to always tell me. You know what I'm saying? It's like we can guide you. We only can give you a guide, but you have to follow the guide. And then you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you're gonna make a mistake here and there, and you're gonna come back, oh yeah, I need to go to church, oh I need to pray, oh I need to do this. You know what I'm saying? They come back to the traits when they experience it. It's like you have a daughter or something, she wanna date this guy, and you looking right at him, you like, this guy's no good, he's a bad dude. But she like, nah, I wanna date him, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. And then she go through abuse, getting beat up and all type of things. And you warned her because you seen the traits. But what can you really do?
Now this dude got to catch a whole beat down by all of her brothers. But you know, I'm just playing.
Yeah, but I have been in situations where I had cousins and family members where we stand in the gap for her, and she go right back to the person that beat her ass.
Pattern of dysfunction. So true. So true. And then you be fighting for somebody.
And then we victimized because now she attacking us. We did something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like that shit is wicked.
It really is. That's the truth. I really think about what she was like. I think teaching them. When the girl posted the video, whatever she posted about, should parents be held accountable for what kids do? No. And the reason why I say that is because if I am training first of all, parents don't have. I always say parents don't have a manual on how to do this. We do the best we can. Number one, and I feel like two twins. I saw this one time. Two twins could be raised by the same alcoholic father and have two different perspectives of how to live from that same environment. You'll have the one person who will become an abuser just like that alcoholic father because that's all he's ever known. Then you'll have that same other twin who will never touch alcohol because his father was an abuser. And what we have to do as parents is allow kids to be accountable, no matter how old they are. It's hard for us, but when I see parents run in and save their kids from consequences, and I see a little kid, even my daughter, when her daddy come in there like last night, and she knew I had told her she wasn't getting nothing else, and then he gave it to her, so she looked back at me and smiled. At an early age, she said to me, I won. No, I feel like these little kids, early on, little stinkers, they know exactly what they're doing, and they have to become accountable to it and learn that nobody's going to rescue you when you make a bad choice. My son, if he makes a bad choice, he is going to be held accountable for it, and if he got to get detention, like I'm a teacher, there's some times in there where I felt like my son would try to use me like when your daddy's a police officer, if you an officer, you supposed to get me out of jail. I will not get you out of jail. You will go to jail for what you did because that's the consequence for what you did, and hopefully next time you'll think twice about it. My son, and my whole thing is what I'm trying to tell Charlie is I want to create. Don't judge me, but I want to create these situations for my son to become accountable and learn the consequences before it's too late. See, because once they reach 18. He can fall into a situation and he's not going to get a second chance as if he was a child. So when he's in school, if he takes something, he need to get in trouble for that. Because he need to understand that he didn't just take something, he stole. You stole it, it didn't belong to you. You need to be, you need to come down on these kids early, because if they don't, they'll look at it as being innocent. And as they get older, next thing you know, they done took something out of somebody's purse or whatever. And it's like, oh no, I didn't steal it, I borrowed it. No, you stole it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you have to understand. These parents make excuses for these kids, and you're creating a monster. Because when they get older, they're going to feel like, oh, my mom, she'll come get me out of this. No, she's not. Something, and then that reality hit them. Man, when that reality hits you and them bars get closed, and you realize that there is nobody coming to get you out, that's when it's too late. We raising up a generation where we need to make sure that they understand consequence and being accountable. And that's what I want for my kids. Like, I want my kids to know early, like, look, nobody's giving you a pass. Nobody owes you anything. If you want something in this life, you better doggone well fight for it, because other than that, you set yourself up to fail. And I don't want you to be a jerk either. My oldest son, he's competitive. And he lost the Greek Olympics to the girl that he really liked. And he didn't even like her no more. Like, she wasn't his friend no more. And I'm just like, no, you got to go shake her hand. You got to go shake her hand and be a person that's honorable. You lost fair and square. Shake her hand and congratulate her. Don't be, I don't like you no more because you made me lose. You're supposed to be my friend. You're supposed to, why should she bow out gracefully and let you win? No. If you lost fair and square, you shake their hand and be respectable. And tell them you lost, but at the end of the day, I'm still a stand-up person. Man, I hate the fact that people can't take L's anymore. They become hateful. No, listen, losing is a part of life, and you got to be able to take that loss and be able to still congratulate the person and on their win and learn from it, so that the next time you compete, you win fair and square.
This is that what she just said is something that Pastor Steele would always talk about when his kids first lost, and how they fell all apart and stuff like that.
They had to go pick them up off the
And that's
field.
what I say that with friends, and I say that with a lot of things. It's like you don't know if the person really your friend until you going through rough times.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody calling everybody their friend and all this type of thing. You don't know the truth until those situations happen. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I say, in our culture, we always seen that where the mamas come out, Jerome would never stab nobody, or this person would never do this.
You never know.
They got DNA tests and everything. No, that ain't him. It's like sometimes we gotta face the fact that sometimes kids can become a monster. That's why we try so hard to try to mold them into a good character person. You know what I mean? My mom,
not even that they don't become a monster. We don't teach them how to deal with their emotions well. You know what I'm saying? Like Jerome, and they had the video of him stabbing the person because he got so angry, and we never taught them how to have self-control. Like we got these kids, and we see that they have issues with anger. We can see my 5-year-old right now. Like we went to SeaWorld, and I don't know, Charlie was about to put my my whole 5-year-old about to get it because he does have an issue where at a certain point he get like little Chucky. You know what I'm saying? We got to teach him early. You got to control that anger, because if you don't control that anger, you may get to a point where if the right person puts the right button, you'll stab them. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to control that. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, my mom would always tell me, she would say, you know what I'm saying, you go to jail the first time, I'll come visit you, and help you out. But the second time, I'm not coming up there at all. So that always put fear in my heart. So I ain't never want to go to jail or live that type of lifestyle when I'm in and out of jail. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew the support system wasn't going to be there. And that's the fear you need to put in your kids to let them know, like, if you go to jail multiple times, you can counsel me sending canteen and all that type of thing. Because I'm going to make for sure sometimes they got to suffer to understand that this ain't the way to live. This ain't the way to do this. You know what I'm saying? You go there one time, oh, that's a mistake. 2 or 3, 4, 5 times, oh, hell no. Now I'm giving you a pass to keep doing this dumbass shit. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, we gotta put it to the test. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But this was an amazing and great morning show, man. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to y'all, man. Y'all know I love y'all, man. But my wife, man, we came together on this great, beautiful day, and we just gave y'all some blessed words,
some
man.
Good conversation with y'all. You know, we'll come back and talk with y'all again. We really appreciate you listening. Let us know what you think. You know what I'm saying? Let us know your input or any other things you want us to expound on, you know, because I believe in this day and time, if we could begin to talk through a lot of the things that we're experiencing, it will help us to gain knowledge. When I feel my lowest point, even though I may not want to vocalize what it is that's going on in my head, when I begin to talk to my husband about it, he gives me an insight that helps me to see things from a different light. So hopefully today we've, covered some topics. Let us know what you think, and thank you for having me today, y'all.
Yeah, everybody get in the comment section, give us y'all comments and y'all thoughts, man. Appreciate the love, man. We out.